everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a fun little book haul. I haven't done one of these on this channel in forever. It's been so long. I do, before I start showing you guys these books, kind of make a little disclaimer about myself. Not that I feel like I have to defend myself, but just for clarification purposes. If you guys don't know, I am the manager at a local bookstore, so I do get a pretty significant discount because I'm about to show you guys a lot of books. I only purchased one of these full price from somewhere else. These are all either secondhand from a used bookstore or from my store, but with my discount. And also this is primarily my physical TBR. So not that anyone can really tell me what to do with my money. I just feel like wanted to make that disclaimer because I am about to show you guys a lot of books. But I do think there's something to be said for the whole overconsumption conversation. Just it doesn't apply to me. So this has been accumulated over a few months. Don't know if I said that. So first we're going to talk about my book club books for September. So we have, I read 2 book clubs at our store. First one being a memoir book club. So this is the memoir for September. It is called Sociopath and it is by Dr. Patrick Gagne. I do not know how to say this. Is so fascinating to me. I am very, very interested. Basically, we have the person who is writing this book is a sociopath. And she always knew growing up that she was making people uncomfortable, but she never really knew why. She knew that she wasn't really feeling things the way that other people felt them, but she couldn't really pinpoint what it was about her that made her so different. She didn't have a word for it. She didn't have a name for it. Took a college psychology course and actually learned what a sociopath really is, because that's the other element of this, is that sociopaths don't really have a good rep. They don't really have a lot of information out there about them. So this is her kind of figuring out her diagnosis, what it means for herself, what it means for other people. I'm very, very excited to get to this. So our fiction book club is Among Friends. This is by Hal Evatt. And the reason why I picked this up is actually because Annie from The Bookshelf, or from The Front Porch, her podcast, said that this is one of her favorite books of the year. Immediately I was like, sign me up. Give it to me. So basically this takes place at a birthday dinner. I think it's like his 50th birthday or something like that. There are 2 couples. They've been friends for a very, very long time, but there is an undercurrent of this really, like, what's described as an unspeakable act that has been committed against other people. And I think that the secrets come out, and decades worth of secrets and resentment come out at this dinner and affect them for the rest of their lives. And I love drama like that, so I'm excited. Next is a fantasy book. This is A Spear Cuts Through Water. I'm gonna be really honest, I don't know a whole lot about what this is about, except for that it's more on the, I think it's sci-fi fantasy if I'm not mistaken, and it's a standalone, and I heard that it is very good. I know there's like warriors and gods and all of that. I'm hesitant to really do a dive on what this is about because I have heard that it's best to go in blind, not really knowing a whole lot about what's going on. Like, it sticks with you, really makes you think. I'm very, very excited to read this. Next is one of my 25 books in 2025 that I want to read. This is Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I have heard this described as American Psycho, but make it a hot girl. Do we really need to say anything else? Do we really need to say anything else? I loved Penance. I thought that it was disturbing and amazing at the same time, so I'm hoping I have similar thoughts about this one. Next, we actually have Anxious People by Fredrik Backman. I have only read one Fredrik Backman, and that was My Friends. And I loved that book. I loved that book so much. The experience of reading one of his books was like so different from reading anything else. And so this came through the used section at our bookstore, and I knew that I had to grab it. I believe this is like a bank, like they're stuck in like a bank robbery, and it's kind of all of them being stuck together. I don't know, in the relationships that they form while this happens. I don't know. All I know is that He'll probably make me cry and I will probably say thank you. Next is another secondhand one. Another 25 books to read in 2025 off my list. This is A Tale for the Time Being. I also don't know a whole lot about what this one is about. Honestly, I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm not giving y'all a whole lot of information here. Basically, what I have gleaned from this is a girl finds, it's like a Hello Kitty lunchbox, and there's like a book inside of it, like a diary inside of it. And she starts to read it and she thinks that it might be debris from a tsunami, and she's reading about that, learning about this other person's life, reading, like having her life going on as a young woman. I'm pretty sure that's what this is about. But what I have heard, which is what drew me to it, is that I've heard that it is very moving, that it's very deep. It's a story that sticks with you. Like, these are things that I want. I want to feel big things when I'm reading, and I want it to stick with me. And so I heard that this is just the ticket for that. Next is one that I'm very excited about. It is A Treachery of Swans by A.B. Portnick, sorry. I loved When the Dark Stands Still. I read that earlier this year. I loved her writing. I loved the story. I loved everything about it. And so when I heard that she was coming out with a Swan Lake retelling that is sapphic, I was like, immediate yes. Don't even have to tell me anything else. Immediately yes. Also, what is up with her? And like, gorgeous covers. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited. I'll probably save this one for November, December, just because it is that Swan Lake kind of vibes. Definitely like darker gothic. But I think I'm gonna save it for around then. I am so excited. I am so excited about this. My very first Joe Abercrombie. I got this in my Aardvark box. I don't know why I feel like I said that weird. My Aardvark box subscription. Got this in that. Very excited. I have not read anything by Joe Abercrombie, so is this the best place to start? Time will tell. I do not know. But it just seemed really like intriguing to me. Like, I just was very intrigued by this. It's like medieval fantasy, and this guy who used to be a priest, I think, is like given the task to shuffle these monsters somewhere, I think. His new flock is made up of unrepentant murderers, practitioners in ghastly magic, and outright monsters. The mission he is tasked with will require bloody measures from them all in order to achieve righteous ends. Evils lurk at our borders and hunger for our flesh, while greedy princes care for nothing but their own ambitions and comfort. With an epic hellish journey before him, it's a good thing Brother Diaz has the devils on his side. So we'll see. I have heard the humor in this is a little interesting, but I still think it's going to be a fun time, so I'm not too concerned about that. Next one, listen, I have a story with this one. This is The Raven Scholar. This is the first in a new high fantasy trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy that I've heard nothing but the most amazing things about this book. And this, I actually sinned and got this from Barnes & Noble. I'm so sorry, but at least it wasn't Amazon. I don't know what to tell you. But here's the thing that I feel like people don't understand. Is that when you work at a bookstore, your system, at least at our store, for how you order things is so different than the normal experience that everyone gets of going into a bookstore. Example, I do not ever have the experience anymore of just walking into a store and letting something call to me. Like, not really having any plans, not really knowing what I'm gonna get. Just walking in and seeing something on the shelf and going, you know what, I want that, because we special order all of our books for ourselves so that we have books for guests. And I was in a Barnes & Noble for something, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, you know what, I just want to have that experience where I feel something called to me that I might not necessarily need, and I buy it. And that was The Raven Scholar. I have huge fantasy reading plans. Huge, big, lofty goals. Did I need to get the first book for another series that I wasn't directly planning on starting yet? No, I didn't. But did I do it? Yes. Do I have any regrets? No. I am very excited for this. I think it's like a mystery and also a fantasy, and I have just heard really good things about this. Masterly woven tale of imperial intrigue from an electrifying new voice in epic fantasy. I saw it and I let the vibes take me. Okay, next I am very excited about this one. This is I Gave You Eyes and You Looked Towards Darkness. This is translated from Catelyn, and here's the journey of how this book came to be for me. I had just finished Wild Dark Shore. I had also just read, like I was reminiscing on North Woods. There is a ghosty element in both of those books. And I was thinking to myself, I love how the ghosts were handled in that book. I love how that was handled. I really thought that it was intriguing. It was very, very well done. I want something like that again. And I was walking through the bookstore and I was just kind of like, you know, picking stuff up. And I read this. I read the back and it says, Dawn is breaking over the Guilleries. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. A rugged mountain range in Cataleona frequented by wolf hunters, brigands, deserters, ghosts, and demons. In an old farmhouse called Mas Clavel, an impossibly old woman lies on her deathbed. Family and caretakers drift in and out. Meanwhile, all the women who have lived and died in that house are waiting for her to join them. They are preparing to throw her a party. I didn't even read the rest of the synopsis. I said, give it to me immediately. Give it to me immediately. And I am so excited. It looks like I can kind of finish this in a one-sitting situation. I think it's going to be so good. I have very, very high hopes for this. Next, we have Universality by Natasha Brown. This is one of the books off of the Booker long list. I'm planning on doing a whole separate video about the Booker long list, 1 or 2 different parts. This is one of the books that was off of the long list that I did not already own, that I was very interested in reading. So I went ahead and picked it up. This is all centers around the event that there is, I think, like an illegal rave happening and someone gets killed with a gold bar, and which sounds absolutely wild. And I think it is the aftermath of that happening. Don't really know a whole lot of... Are you good? Do you want to come in here? No? Okay. I think that is like following the aftermath of that. I don't really want to know a whole lot going into this. I'm very, very excited though. Okay, next. I like how I'm like keep saying I'm so excited. Obviously I'm excited. I bought all of these books, duh. But I am very excited for this. This is The Hounding by Zenebi Purvis, and I also got this in my aardvark box. Guys, the way I screamed when I was like looking at all the catalogs for books that were coming out and I saw this and it said, The Crucible meets the Virgin Suicides in this haunting debut about 5 sisters in a small village in 18th century England whose neighbors are convinced they're turning into dogs. This is gonna be so weird, and I am so excited about it. I think it's gonna be so good. So, I don't even need to know anything else. I genuinely don't. I'm just so excited about it. Like, what the heck? The Crucible meets the Virgin Suicides where they think they're turning into dogs and using witchcraft? Say less. I have my next little section of my fantasy goals for this year, which is completing the Farseer trilogy. So I picked up The Royal Assassin and Assassin's Quest. I am currently reading this. This is actually my current read. I'm about 150 pages into it and really enjoying it. I have seen a lot of people. Why does Lin-Manuel Miranda have a pull quote on the back of this book? I feel like that's so random. Anyway, I have seen a lot of reaction videos where people are crying a lot to this book. I think I've seen similar for this one. I don't know, but I'm excited to, like, people say that this is where the series really picks up and you get hooked. So I'm very, very excited for that to happen to me. I'm ready for Robin Hobb to take over my life. Last but not least, we have one of my most anticipated reads of the year, Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. Look at how beautiful. I'm not even a sprayed edges person. I honestly think that sprayed edges are overrated. I don't think they're necessary. Give me beautiful end papers, end pages. Give me beautiful end pages. Maybe something going on over here. Give me that any day over sprayed edges. But I will admit that these are very pretty. It's cool, okay? This book is a freaking brick. Like, it's not that big. It's only like not even 500 pages, but it's heavy. This thing is freaking heavy. I feel like I could use this as a weapon if someone broke into my house. It's heavy. And so I don't know how holding this is gonna be. I mean, let me just complain some more. What else can I find to complain about? I am very excited about this. If you do not know what this is about, essentially a Dante's Inferno retelling. R.F. Kuang said that she wanted to bring back nonsense writing, like an Alice in Wonderland. Is two academics have to go into hell and save their supervisor. Or their, not supervisor, what's the word called? It's not professor. Advisor? I think it's advisor. I think advisor is the right word I'm looking for here. Anyway, I heard that they have to go into hell and to get him back. And I am so excited about this. Okay, this is gonna be my next read. This is gonna be my next read. Look how pretty she is. Yes, needless to say, that sounded very intriguing to me. I love her writing, love her writing. I have not read, genuinely, have not read a book by her that has not been 5 stars, and the only book that I have not read by her is Babel. And also, to clarify, just to put this out there, the author said that you do not need to read Dante's Inferno. You don't need to read any, like all these required reading lists that you're seeing on TikTok, Instagram, and everything. Not necessary. You can go into this blind. So just to put that out there. Author's words, not mine. Don't come for me. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I cannot wait to read these over fall. This is primarily my fall TBR. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.